Hi everybody, this is Carla again, and this time I'm back with a review of episode 5 of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 3. The episode is titled, well, let me get the number because it's a number and it's complicated. The episode is titled 4,722 Hours. And before I actually start reviewing the episode, I have to make one thing, to say one thing and make it really clear. Since I was a child, my dream was to be an astronomer. Okay, I wanted to be an astronomer. I wanted to work at NASA. Heck, even now that I've got, a bachelor's and a master's under my belt in something completely unrelated to space, I still want to tweak it around so that I end up working at NASA someday. Okay, I love space. Space is my thing. It is just everything. I love the idea of space exploration, of getting to know new planets and new stars and new galaxies and everything. Just, it is kind of my favorite thing in the world. So by that fact alone, I'm pretty sure you can guess that this thing has pretty much shot up to the top of my list of favorite S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes ever. Okay, it's like they wrote this episode for me. I basically, it's everything I love in just one episode, in which Gemma Simmons is me, and oh my god, it's freaking, it was so freaking great. Okay, I love, this episode is so fantastic, and Gemma Simmons is a national treasure. Okay, that girl is the best thing about this show. I swear to God, she is the coolest. I love her to death, and this episode was amazing. I think we were all kind of expecting to see sort of a castaway episode with Gemma, because there's no way they were going to show us that planet and then not tell us what went on, right? I mean, there's a reason they rescued Gemma so fast. But so I guess we were all kind of expecting her to go back and tell us what happened, particularly after she said that she had to go back. Now, at the beginning, I thought it might be like a Stockholm Syndrome thing or whatever, but it does make more sense that there's something in there that she wants to bring back, or in this case, someone. So I like that explanation, but just the entire episode was so great. I mean, it started off as a castaway thing where, it's only her and she's talking to quote-unquote Fitz on her phone, and basically that's kind of the only interaction she has ever, and you can see, start to see her slowly, go a little bit, mad, in the sense that she has no one to talk to but her phone, and she keeps talking to Fitz like Fitz is there, but she knows he's not, and she has to face thirst and starvation, and I mean, just thinking about all the stuff that she had to do. I mean, she ran for water before she even knew it was water, and that Gemma being Gemma and being a scientist, she probably knew all the kind of crap that was in that water that could probably kill her, but she was so thirsty that there was just no other choice. She had to get water or she would die. And she started eating that plant that tried to attack her. I mean, come on, you don't even know if that thing is toxic, but she had to eat it. That's the only choice she had, and it kind of breaks your heart even more, because you know that she knows all these things, right? It's not like she's some random dude who gets lost and has to survive and doesn't intricately know how many ways there is for this thing that she's eating or drinking to kill her. Gemma knows. She knows very well, and it just breaks my heart all over again every time I think about it. And then of course she meets Will, and I loved Will. Will was great. Now I have to say, in defense of space exploration agencies, NASA would never do that. Just saying, like, they would never just ask people to volunteer to go to a completely unexplored planet, okay? They would send probes, probably first. I mean, true that if there's a portal somewhere, they might jump at the chance to not have to pay billions and billions of dollars in aircraft and stuff like that, and it would make travel, space travel, a lot faster and blah blah blah. Like, it's, the idea is sound in the sense that yes, NASA would be interested in exploring portals to other, parts of the galaxy or whatever, but they would never just send people without knowing what's out there. They would never do that, okay? It's ridiculous, and no way any human rights organization in the world would ever approve of that. Okay, that's impossible. So yeah, just in NASA's defense, that is a very, 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 very much fictional position they took in this episode. But still, I liked Will. He was, I mean, for someone who's been trapped in the freaking in a freaking desert planet for 14 years, he was incredibly sane. Like, I know anyone else would have gone mad, and it was nice of Will to not kill Gemma. I mean, I like that at first he kind of didn't think she was real, but then she kind of stuck around, so he had to sort of admit that maybe she was not a figment of his imagination. So that's a good point, and God knows how long he's been without actually seeing a human being, let alone speak. At first, when he first popped up, I thought he would be like the 1700s guy that they sent in, and I was like, I thought that Gemma, because she was talking about ecosystems and blah 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 and just a bunch of sciencey stuff, and I was just sitting there thinking he probably has no idea what she's saying, But then he turned out to be from 2001, which isn't too far away that he wouldn't understand most of that stuff. Although I did think it was really funny when he was like gushing over her phone. It's like, really? 122 gigabytes? Mind blown. That was funny because I love it when fiction is kind of accurate that way, because yeah, in 2001 we were nowhere near the cell phone technology that they had back then. Nowhere near. No, I mean, come on, 2001 was probably, I was still running Windows 2000 and barely like still connecting on a phone modem and stuff. Like, come on, it was a completely different world back then, and it's nice to see the show kind of nudge to that, because it's accurate, and I like it when stuff is accurate. Also, I mean, just the entire theme of hope versus that feeling of doom was so great, because Gemma, like I said, that girl is pun intended, she's a gem, okay? And she can, like, she knows so much that she can see the good in everything, and I like that she was like, yeah, I won't give up because I know that Fitz won't give up. And they're a team that way. They're both always trying to look for the solution to a problem. That's their thing. And I like that she kind of transmitted that hope back to Will, who needed it, because after being stuck on a planet for 14 years, you kind of stop giving a crap about things. You kind of get used to the idea that you're going to die sad and alone in a desert world where there's no sun ever. And it's good that Gemma managed to kind of infuse him with some of the hope that she has in heaps and buckets, because she's an adorable woman like that. She's just so sweet and such a positive outlook on life, and it's great that she's sharing that. At the same time, it's also great that he's kind of grounding her, because if you get your hopes up too much, then that might be dangerous too. So I really like that combo, and I love, like, some of my favorite parts of the thing were when Gemma was doing the calculations, and she's like, yeah, so the portal was here, and then we know the rotation of the planet, and blah blah. I'm like, that is so cool. Okay, I want, like, if it wasn't for the fact that she had to be alone in a desert planet to actually get to that point, I would want that to be my life. Because that is so cool, and I loved it. And I love that she can power the computer with her phone. I mean, come on, I want that phone. My phone doesn't last a day. Hers lasted for months. Can Fitz just, like, fix up my phone so that I can't have that much battery? Because that would be lovely. And yeah, just everything. The episode was just pretty much perfection in 43 minutes, as far as I'm concerned. The only thing I didn't quite like was at the end. I mean, they never really said what that it was. I mean, I thought it was interesting that Will said that the planet had kind of like moods and whatever. That's because it had moods. But they never really said what it was. But I like the idea that it can kind of get into your head and like tempt you into doing things and stuff. That's really interesting. I mean, it's almost horror movie-esque in a way, but it's very interesting because I wonder if that will lead us to it will lead the show to introduce like new alien species and whatever. That would be really cool. The only part of it that I didn't like was that Will seemed to stay behind for no reason. I mean, what was he doing? Was he trying to like get the thing away from Gemma or something? Because if that's the case, then great. I mean, I love that he sacrificed himself for her, but at the same time, they never actually said it, you know? So I'm kind of wondering if maybe it was just lazy writing, or if they really meant us to get that Will had sacrificed himself for Gemma. And they were cute. I mean, I'm a Fitzsimmons shipper. You know that I am. I've said this multiple times before. In this episode, I was a bit worried when I saw that Will was around, because I knew they were going to get together at some point. Like, I'm one of the biggest proponents that when people go through adversity together, the bonds just sort of develop, you know, and very strong bonds at that. So I wasn't shocked. Like, I knew that they were going to get together at some point. I was just hoping it came naturally, and it did. And I really liked it. I mean, I'm still a Fitzsimmons shipper, but at the same time, you know, Gemma was stranded in that planet. She needed someone who was there for her. That was great. And I do really want them to get him back, because I think he deserves to come back. He seems like a good guy, and he helped Gemma so much. And do I want a love triangle? No, but you know, I guess we'll see. But that doesn't mean he doesn't deserve to come back home, you know? So I think it's been long enough for him. I just didn't like the way it happened. Like, why did Gemma go through the portal and not... Why did Will just kind of stay behind? If it was to save Gemma, I'm good with it. Like, if it was to get the it away from Gemma, that's great. I just wish they had said it, you know? And of course, I love just the idea of Gemma having someone apart from Fitz is something I love, because it also brings out the best in Fitz. You know, like that last scene. Of course, I mean, I love Fitz. I didn't doubt him for 1 minute, but I'm sure there were people out there who actually thought that he was like upset or something at the end when Gemma told him. I knew as soon as he got off the bed, I'm like, nope, he's gonna help her. That's Fitz. Fitz is the best, and he's gonna help her, and it's gonna be the most adorable thing. And I was right. Okay, I squealed aloud when he showed her like his research on the portal and everything. Like, I knew he was gonna help her. He's so great. He's such a good man. Like, seriously, he just wants her to be happy. And okay, maybe this Will guy got to kiss her, blah blah blah, but you know, he's a good person, Fitz, and he doesn't want to see anybody trapped in a foreign world. Like, even if he hadn't, even if Will hadn't been there, I mean, Fitz, if Even if Will hadn't been together with Gemma, Fitz would still have helped him. I mean, come on. Why would people even think that Fitz would be opposed to bringing him back? He's a great person, and I love that even when Gemma's telling him these hard truths, that he's still going to 100% support her and everything that makes her happy, and just be a good person and save someone's life. Okay, that's just Fitz. Okay, and he is the best. Like, Fitz and Simmons, they're my babies. Okay, I love them, and this episode was incredible, and just the astronomy lover in me is kind of dancing around the room right now, so I literally can't. Seriously, I don't even know what to say. Like, it was such a great episode. I'm sure it's one I'm going to rewatch over and over again. It's really, like, it just skyrocketed, pun intended, to the top of my list of favorite S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes, because it was so great. Elizabeth Henstridge just killed it. Okay, I mean, it blows my mind that she hadn't really done anything on TV or like, she hadn't really done much acting before she got the role of Gemma, and she's pretty much the best. Okay, she's the best as far as performance goes, and this episode proves it so clearly. Like, she's so great. There's not that many people that can have like a full quarter of the episode on their own and make it so interesting. So my mind is blown. This was such a great episode, and seriously, I can't wait to see how they focus on trying to bring Will back, and I hope they do. I'm glad he dropped the gun at the end, by the way, because I was seriously afraid that he was going to kill himself. Like, when he pulled the gun out the first time around, I had like Armageddon flashbacks, like, what are you doing with a gun in space? But I thought maybe when Gemma goes back that he would kill himself. I'm glad he didn't. So I really hope they bring him back, because he seems like a great guy, and he could be a great asset for S.H.I.E.L.D., by the way. Like, I mean, he's been out of NASA for 14 years, and he probably doesn't want to go back. But S.H.I.E.L.D. works on Earth. He has intimate knowledge of other planets outside the solar system right now for 13 years, so why not use that? Bring him into S.H.I.E.L.D. I like that idea. I hope they bring Will back. And just as a conclusion, because pretty much I've been gushing about this thing for 18 minutes, as a conclusion, it was just an amazing episode. Definitely, like, my number one favorite episode of the show, like, from the beginning. Like, it was such a great episode. It hit me right in everything that I love. Amazing performances. Gemma and Fitz are just the most amazing characters in this show, and Will was good. Just the whole mythology was good. The science was great. I mean, science fiction has to make sense, and I really like that they tried to make sense of that barren environment in this episode. So, great job. I think it was Craig Tidley who actually wrote this episode, so kudos to him. And just fantastic episode. I don't know how I'm going to feel about the next one, because I love this one so much, but this show is crushing it this season. Like, seriously, I don't even know. I didn't even know that was such a thing was possible, you know. It's like for every episode to be really good, but they're crushing it, so I can only hope that they keep going that way. And that's pretty much it for this review. If you want to see more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. review, be sure to go to our website at thegeekypub.com. We also have more reviews for other TV shows, books, movies. We have a ton of stuff in there, so be sure to check it out. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.